Welcome to another episode of Comical Minds. I'm Mike Andrus.
Chris Tavares.
So what do you want to talk about today, Chris?
Well, I figured not everybody's always hyped up about comic books and stuff as cool as, you and I are. So I figured it'd be fun topic to talk about would be Disneyland. More specific, Disneyland trips that you and I have been on. Not together, separately, of course, but something people could relate to. I'm sure they've got their own little stories, family vacations,
traveling, anything.
Traveling.
As much as we love The Bat, as much as we love all of these movies that are coming out, it's great to have a variety of content. So this is our first show going off of the comic book bandwagon and just talking about what comes to our comical minds. So there was this one time, it was the most recent trip that my wife and I took to Disneyland. This past February, actually. So within this past year.
Oh, so you go during like Valentine's Day and stuff, huh?
Well, we were actually up there for a friend's wedding. Sarah Beth was the maid of honor in Vegas.
Okay.
And we're such big Disney buffs. It's like, well, we're in Vegas. We might as well drive to Anaheim and go to Disneyland.
It's only 9 hours and it's a good drive.
I was like, I don't care. So let's do it. Because as Hawaii people, we go to the mainland for vacation. It's like, well, since we're upward, we might as well go to Disneyland.
Oh, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. Just to start our vacation away from this island, you got to buy a ticket to get off this rock. So when you're in the mainland, you want to make it as memorable as possible.
You want to get as much money's worth as you possibly can.
Yes, no, I hear you,
this
man.
one vacation. And so, okay, before we even talk about this story, when you go to Disneyland, well, you're from California, so I don't know if this applies to you, but do you want to put Disneyland at the end of your trip or at the very beginning?
Well, usually my trip starts off in Disneyland. A couple times I've been, we've always started off in Disneyland. I'm more of the guy, like, let's hit the main fun stuff and then just kind of trail down to the things that's not going to be, like, massive lines and stuff. And then from there, kind of calm down and then head on home.
See, I'm actually the opposite. I figured, like, you know what, let's build up the hype to Disneyland. And then, then at the very end, you're looking forward to it the entire time. Then at the very end, you blow your load. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. And then, you're exhausted by the end of... Because... Nobody can go through 3 or 4 days of Disneyland without feeling pain. Like physical,
yes.
Ouch, yeah. Like my feet are going to kill themselves, chop themselves off and just walk away. Being like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, you do some walking, man.
Dude.
Like, and plus the heat.
And for big guys like us, like I sweat just breathing.
Yeah.
So
I sweat watching you breathe.
So just walking around in Disneyland in the summertime, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, summertime
that's a
is
special
always
kind of
nuts.
idiot right there. But you know what? For the guys who love it, we'll take the bullet. Take the bullet. And so there was this one time, this most recent trip, my wife and I, we got to the hotel, because we had been driving all day from Vegas. So we got to the hotel around sunset. And we were like, well, we don't want to use a pass to go in for only
just
a few
for it
hours.
To end, yeah.
So we're like, let's cruise downtown Disney. But this was the first time that Disneyland had incorporated the extra security, they called it, where they have, before it would just be like, oh, you open up your bag and make sure you don't have any weapons, they make sure you're cool, and that's it. Everybody had to get a bag check. But recently Disneyland was like, we're going to up our Micky Mouse Security. And you ever seen a dude with a Mickey Mouse badge? I mean, it's hard.
Doesn't sound very intimidating.
It's hard to take it seriously, but you realize... This is their park. I got to go by their rules. So, first of all, when you're in Vegas and when you're
he's not dressed up as a mouse, is he?
Okay. No, thank God the security isn't dressed up as a mouse. But he has that like Indiana Jones-esque white hat.
Okay.
But I mean, what I was gonna say was we had just come from Vegas. And Vegas or Nevada is one of the most pro-gun states. Like you can get a concealed carry permit. And when you're a big gun nut like we are, dude, I mean, we're all like packing knives or packing pepper spray, friggin' anything to help protect us.
We're waiting for the end of days.
Oh, yeah. It's like, well, my mentality is I'd rather have it than not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly.
So I was like, I just as a Filipino, I have my knife on me at all times. There was this one time I was in a college class. And we were sitting in like a big circle with our desks, and we were talking about being Filipino, and one of my friends is like, "All right, all the Filipinos, bust out your Filipino identification badge." Like 13 knives, all on the desks.
You know what's funny? You're saying as a Filipino they carry knives. As a fat man, I carry a fork. You never know when there's going to be food around.
Dude, did you have those Swiss Army knives that had like
the little spoon and the fork? Yeah, I did.
So, dude, I have mine somewhere. I don't know why I don't carry it. I honestly don't know. Because, babe, be prepared for anything, right?
All right.
You don't know when a rogue piece of pie is going to come your way. It's like, well, I'm glad I'm prepared for this. So like I was saying, I mean, I'm armed to the teeth. I mean, I don't want to say armed to the teeth, but I'm always carrying something for self-protection. That sounded like I'm carrying condoms at all times. But something for self-defense. Self-defense, that's the phrase.
Mickey Mouse ain't going to rape you in there. It's a safe place.
Hey, don't tease. I had my whistle. But so I walk in and like thankfully Sarah Beth had booked way in advance. So we were staying in a hotel right across from the entrance of the park.
Oh, nice.
And so it was prime, dude, because the trip before that to Disneyland, we had booked a hotel that was quote unquote 2 short blocks away. Now, I don't know if it's a California thing where everybody is fit. And so, like, 2 blocks is like, oh, yeah, that's a hop, skip, and a jump. But, like, being from the islands, being like, oh, bruh, 2 hours is a really far drive.
Oh, yeah.
2 blocks in, like, California terms or mainland terms, like, my feet were like, why are you doing this to us?
It's 2 blocks. It's, might be 2 blocks, but it's going to be very large blocks.
It's very large blocks. And so we were 2 blocks away from the entrance. But, dude, just walking back and forth, my feet were done. So with this trip, Sarah Beth was like, I booked the hotel. I booked so far in advance that it's the hotel directly across from the entrance. So I was stoked. It's like, we can save our feet. It's going to be amazing.
Here we go.
So we go to the gate, and when we're standing in the security line, I'm already thinking to myself, oh, crap. Sarah Beth has her pepper spray. Mm-hmm. I have my pepper spray. And I have my knife. And so I'm thinking, oh, crap.
Is there a Disney villain that you weren't particularly cared for that you're looking at?
Cruella de Vil, man. I was looking out for that bitch. she thinks she can kill puppies. No way. Not on my watch. But, dude, I'm just armed to the teeth, and I'm like, oh, crap. And then I see the metal detectors. Mm. And the thing is, they're not pulling everybody aside to go through the metal detectors. Like, the metal detector's on the side of the entrance. Like, you go through the bag check. And then the security is pulling, oh, excuse me, sir, will you please come with us? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm going to get picked. It's like being brown right after 9/11. And just because you're brown, you got to go, you just get randomly checked.
Just
for,
randomly checked. It's random, sir.
Yes, it's random. And so we're going through the line. I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait, if I put my knife deep into my pocket, because you know how you have it clipped on your pocket. I was saying, okay, I'll just throw that in my pocket. And I was like, okay, I got my pepper spray. I'll put it in my cargo pocket, so it won't be in the bag. So maybe if I act cool, they won't pick me.
You probably look nervous as hell,
dude. I probably have the worst poker face ever. Like my teller's like he's sweating.
We should play sometime.
Why don't you hang out with Chris anymore? You took all my money in poker. Dude, but yeah, so I'm nervous as hell, and so I'm putting all my stuff in like pockets that security won't see it. And so sure enough, they do the bag checks. All right, you're clear. Big white hat dude beelines for me. And granted, I don't look innocent either. Mm-hmm. Like I have a short like Iraqi terrorist beard.
Oh, God.
I'm brown. I'm wearing camouflage shorts, a pro-gun hat that says, I plead the second, with an AR-15 on it. And so, easy target, like shooting a duck in a barrel.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, though, working in corrections, normally when you see people in their hands or just scattering around in their pockets, they're trying to hide something, and they stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm picturing you in a crowd of white people, and you're the only one over there, like, rambling around in your pockets.
Okay. Dude, so yeah, he pulled me aside, and he was like, will you please walk through the metal detector? I'm like, okay. And so, of course, I walk through, and I light up like a Christmas tree, man. That freaking metal detector goes off. I'm surprised they didn't throw like an electrified net on me. It's like, grab him now! And so I walk through and say, empty out your pockets, please. And I pull out this arsenal of like pocket knife, pepper spray.
It just never ends.
It just never ends. It's like, I felt like Neo in the Matrix in that scene where he's going through the airport security. He's like, "Sir, can you please open up your jacket?" And he opens up his jacket,
and it's just strapped to the teeth,
strapped with black guns like no tomorrow. I thought that was such a badass shot. I felt like
until you're at Disneyland.
Until I'm at Disneyland, I was like, I just want to go to downtown Disney. I don't even want to go in the parks. See, that was my thing. It's like, well, I have this stuff on me, but I'm not going to the parks. I figure I'm just going to go to downtown Disney. But the thing is, to get to downtown Disney, you got to go through security, and it's so. They call the white hat security guy calls his boss over. Like all of a sudden, they're gonna put me on some terrorist watch list.
Oh shit!
And so so I walk. He walks over. Is like, "Sir," and just sternly, and he actually did it pretty nicely. You can either give these things to me, or you can go back to your hotel room. I'm like, all right, I'll go back to the hotel room. And so I wouldn't say it was a walk of shame, but it was like. Well, that was embarrassing.
Sarah Beth, at this point, she's already on the first ride. She's like, bye, Mike.
Thankfully, Sarah Beth was actually walking with me. Thankfully, she's not that cold-hearted.
Okay,
oh, my God. I would have been livid. Like, that would have been worse than her watching an episode of The Flash without me.
Oh, okay.
Dude, like, I once watched, not even the full episode. It was in the first scene of The Flash. I was watching it on my laptop by myself. She had taken a nap or something. She comes out from her nap and looks at me, and I swear, like, if she was like a Darth Lord of the Sith, she would have exploded my head.
Oh man. See, it's funny because like you and me, we usually carry like a pocket knife, or most of the time I have like a utility tool on the side.
Yeah,
something like that. And I'll be honest, if I saw him pull you aside, or even if I saw him walking towards you, like I'd be trying to ditch my stuff because my stuff's cheap.
Yeah.
So I'd either be putting it in the old lady's purse in front of me, or like I'd try to toss it in your cargo pants.
See, I'm so cheap. I'm like, I gotta keep all this shit. I spent $13 on this. This knife is $30. I'm like, nope. I'm keeping all this. But yeah, so we're walking back to the hotel room, and I'm thinking about what just happened, just cracking up, and I feel the side of my my right side hip. I don't realize I have my Leatherman knife on me also.
Oh,
my utility tool, and that knife I've had for years. It's like $80. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this too. Like, it's like Neo emptying out his arsenal, and then finding a Derringer in his sock or something like that. And so I was just cracking. I was like, oh my gosh, on top of this, I have like my utility knife too. I was like, well, if I could have gotten away with anything, that would have been it. But you know what's funny is the rest of the trip, every time we went through that security line, I was like, hey, be cool, man. Be cool. It's like, you're not carrying anything. It's like, I don't know. I'm still sweating. Be cool, man.
Did they check you after that?
Yeah.
They still kept...
Yeah. They, sir, will you please come with us? And yeah, there was one more time. I was like,
I'm clean! They're on the radio. He's back. He's back.
Dude. It's like, the brown man with the camouflage shorts. Get him now! Dude, so yeah, man, just... almost got arrested by a Mickey Mouse officer in Disneyland for wanting to go eat dinner.
And you know what's funny is when people say Mickey Mouse in front of a title, it's usually meant to insult them. Like, oh, he did a Mickey Mouse job or something like that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So when you're telling me that you're getting busted by a Mickey Mouse security guard, like, well, he was a really shitty security guard.
Dude had a legitimate badge and all.
Mickey badge.
So being from California, are you a Disney fan?
Oh, I hated it. I tried blowing it up.
Yeah, really? You should have been on the terrorist watch list for Disney.
No, we were big into Disneyland. We only been a few times. In fact, when we graduated high school, we did a Disneyland trip. They closed down the park for us, and we got to. It was like only seniors for like surrounding schools.
Really?
Yeah. So and it was at night, and it was like like past sunset to like sunrise. And it was like just us, all the seniors from nearby schools, and like every district kind of had like a day. So it was nuts. We had a blast.
You know what Hawaii kids get? Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I heard. but a couple of years later, me and my friends went back, and we're all big. It was my buddy Nick, was my buddy Dave, and me, and Nick's friend who actually lives in Anaheim. Mm-hmm. Big dude, okay, nice guy, but. So we're all like bearded guys, except for some reason Nick had it in his head that he was going to shave himself, like completely bald, and he wasn't sporting a beard or a mustache, nothing, completely bald. And Nick's cousin, I guess the guy like just had knee surgery or something. So we had like this handicap placard, and when you take those into the park, You don't have to wait in line.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, man, you
just the placard?
Well, you go to an office, you show them your handicap, that little placard, and then they just give you like this ticket that goes for you and whoever's with you. And it's
really?
I don't think it's limited to like 5 guests. Like you just say, "Oh, I'm with him," and you just get to go.
It's just the entire party.
Just the entire party.
Oh
so literally,
cool.
there's like lines. I remember like the lines were like there's an hour wait or an hour and a half wait, 45-minute wait. So literally, we would just take the express line. He would flash that card, and then like the rest of us are like, "Oh, we're with him," and we were getting the dirtiest looks from like these families. The Smiths over there coming from Indiana, and they're seeing us just walking.
I've waited 65 minutes to see Peter Pan's ride, and you're walking in.
And that was like the part. Like you'd go in, they'd sit you, and this is the first part. Like the person's like ready to go next, they stop them so you go first.
That's you. Oh my God.
To add insult to injury. So right when we're there,
sir, hold.
And like say if like the thing only seats 2,
right?
They keep the whole group together. So he goes, then the person behind. So it's like your whole group goes first before the next person in the front of the line goes. And we were getting the dirtiest looks. And then so when the ride ends, people are like, okay, get off. Next group goes on. You can literally just go, I'm gonna go again. And they're like, cool. And you just go again.
You just show them the badge while you're still sitting in.
While you're still sitting, just like
we're
going again. And they're like, all right. And they click the button and you're going.
Dude,
you get like 3 clicks on the thing and you're just gone. And I can't tell you how many times.
Wait, how did you guys get this card, this handicap card?
There's like an office that like apparently nobody knows of. It's like for handicapped people. And all this. Now he was a big guy. He had knee surgery, but the dude it was healthy. He could walk perfectly fine. Okay, and so we got to the point where we were going from ride to ride, and then we just like, you want to do it again? So we'd go back to another ride, and we still see the same family like still waiting in line to go. And so I noticed like Nick's completely bald, and I'm pretty sure. Well, now that I know Micky Mouse Security is pulling knives, so maybe we weren't in danger. But I'm like, we're gonna get shanked. Like someone's gonna stab us or shoot us. And it got to the point like. I'm like, if anyone says anything, you tell them Nick has cancer, okay? This guy's completely bald, and here's all these fat guys walking right up to the front. Nick is bald as Lex Luthor.
Dude, so I'm envisioning like 3 Duck Dynasty beards.
That's guys. Literally what it looked like. We all had beards, and then just one bald Assyrian that we were like make him walk in front of us. We were like... Man. Oh, he's got cancer. We're just, it's his. You ever heard of Make-A-Wish Foundation?
This is his wish. He's so happy to be.
Oh my God, I'm so gonna go to hell. This is just more proof. Dude. We would do that, and then we went to next door. I think was California Adventure, where they have, and the same rules apply, man. The handicap thing, and we went.
It's like a free pass, man.
Dude, it really is. I mean, you feel bad using it, but at the moment, you're like, I love this thing.
Yeah, that's called guilt, Christopher.
Yeah. As a Catholic, I should know more about that. But, so, my friends talk me, and now I'm terrified of heights. I am a bitch when it comes to rides.
Really? You're not a roller coaster dude?
I see it. Now that I'm older, I'm into it, but when I was a little kid, could not stand it. The first time I went on the ride called the Zipper, I was screaming like such a girl, and I was with my sister, that they actually stopped the ride so I could get off.
Really?
And, I was messed up, and I will never go on that ride again.
I'm one of those guys, like, I know my limits, and I know the zipper would, like, just unzip me.
Oh, yeah.
The insides would come out, and it would just not be pretty.
They were about to fly out my ass. I was screaming. And so we went on this ride called... the Tower of Terror or something like that.
Oh, the Hollywood Tower of Terror in California Adventure.
No, I thought it was a haunted house, like the Haunted Mansion, which is one of my number one favorites. Yeah. Love that thing. I love Halloween to a passion. So the Haunted Mansion is my top ride. Right. And side creepy note. Do you know a lot of this is actually they have a cleaning crew that goes in there like every other day or so, and people they clean ashes.
Clean their own piss.
Well, but they clean ashes at the Haunted Mansion. It's not very many people know this, but people will actually spread someone's ashes during the ride in that, and that's like the number one ride where people do it.
That's not creepy at all.
I know, isn't that like you're riding by?
Like, do you want a haunted mansion that's actually haunted? Because that's how you get a real haunted mansion.
Really, it's going to be like the poltergeist in there someday. But I know it's creepy, but I remember it's one thing I was reading online, and it was nuts. So we go into the Tower of Terror, and I'm thinking like you sit down in the booth, they have you sit down with all your friends and stuff, And I thought you were going to just kind of tour, like, the Haunted Mansion.
Right.
Well, I noticed, like, we're in an elevator and we keep going up. Like, okay, we're going up and then we're going to, like, maybe go out and then it's going to ride us down.
And at this point, are you strapped in?
Well, I remember they put, like, a belt over you, and I'm in the very front now, okay?
Right.
So there's, like, a bar in front of me, then there's, like, a bar on the side, and I'm wearing, like, a seatbelt kind of a thing. And I remember, like, one door opens up, and there's, like, a floating candlestick at the end of the hallway, and then, like, another door opens up, and, like, you see ghosts, and I'm like, man, this is cool, And we just keep going up, and I'm thinking you go up to the top, and then, like, it just has you, like, slowly come down, like a spiral or something, like, like a little slow roller coaster getting to see the Haunted Mansion, basically. So we get up to the top, last door opens, and holy shit, we are at the top, and it's just showing you how high you are. And I just remember, like, my ass clenched, I grabbed the bar in front of me, I grabbed the bar on my side, and, like, I actually put my foot up on the bar, and I braced.
3-point stance, and
I braced, man, and I tell you, because oh, fuck. And that thing drops, and as it drops, like, all the doors are open, so you see the view as you're going.
Really?
I screamed. Like, I'm pretty sure I shattered glass at the other end of the park. It was like my man card was revoked that day. I was screaming so loud on the way down. It terrified the ever-living fuck out of me. As soon as that ride was done, I'm like, let me the fuck off. I don't do heights.
Don't they drop you multiple times?
They do. They just keep dropping you. They're like, okay, go back up, and then and it just drops again. And man, I was so fucked up at the end of that ride. It was bad. It was really bad.
Dude, get out. So, and I heard somewhere that they drop you like 3 times the speed of gravity, something like that.
I don't know. All I knew is like my ass was flying out my throat, and I was screaming or trying to gurgle.
He's talking shit.
Literally talking shit. Oh my god, it was so bad,
dude.
And then there was one ride that was kind of we went to Universal Studios, and it was the Transformer ride. And
I've never been on that one.
It was a fun one, man. Yeah. It's like that one is like you think you sit down and it just kind of drives you around inside.
Okay, is it like a Star Tours kind of thing where it kind of you're in one spot, or is it?
It's kind of like a roller coaster.
Cage? Oh no, it's actually like a roller coaster.
So it's like it doesn't like throw you around and stuff, but it's like you're in a car and you're just driving around and like you're going along a track,
Oh, okay.
And like it's all you're wearing like 3D glasses, and like when they knock something over, like you feel the air or the spray. You actually get wet, like it will spray you,
like a 4D experience.
Yeah, and then like when something would explode, like you'd feel the heat hit your face, and so like during the ride, like Megatron's coming after us, and like they're like you're in one of the cars and they're driving away, and I remember like my stomach, I was in such bad pain, and I was really gassy, and like explosions are happening, so like you get hit heat with the face, and then like they blow up a water line and you get sprayed, and then we were in like an alleyway,
and a bad combination.
I ripped it so bad, and like I was gagging, and I knew other people must have been hurting, and I was like, "Oh, how's this effects? Like you smell like you're actually in some back alleyway." So someone hit a methane line,
dude. Is that the gas from the Transformers? Literally?
Yeah, that's Bumblebee's exhaust pipe.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Shit's so stingy to rip a hole through like the next dimension.
It was so bad.
That's
so
great,
Disneyland, California Adventure, Universal Studios. Those for family trips, everyone's got memorable experiences. They're all fun.
They're all great, man. We got to go sometime.
Yeah, definitely. All of us will have to head down. I thought you got to go. Like, Chris, get the fuck out of my house already.
No, imagine. Well, the thing is, you have family trips with your family and stuff like that. But you get a little bit older, then you have enough money to go on the side and like have trips with friends.
Yeah, I was luckily. I mostly went with my friends, David and Nick, and we always had a blast.
But that's what happens when you're local to California. You know what you get over here in Hawaii?
What?
I don't know. I was hoping you knew.
It's Hawaii. You're stuck on a rock.
I just work, and
work never ends, man.
Nope. And that's all we have for this episode of Comical Minds. I hope you enjoyed our little side conversation, deviating from the path of nerdiness and comic bookdom, and just taking a little break just to share some funny stories that happened to us.
Couldn't have said it any better, bud.
So, tune in next time for more Comical Minds. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I'm Mike Andrus.
Chris Tavares. Please like, subscribe, and give us your thoughts of what you thought of today's episode.
Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves. Scheherazade had 1,000 tales. But master, you in luck, 'cause up your sleeves you got a brand of magic never fails.